Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. As always, your host with the most, Ghost. Today we're going to give you a little preview of NXT TakeOver 36. Wasn't really able to give a preview for SummerSlam and all that, so I'm gonna do a quick pick here. There's only 5 matches on TakeOver, so should have a little bit light, a little bit lighter of a night. It's been a heavy weekend with the Punk return, Lesnar, Becky Lynch. The internet is just exploding. So yeah, there's only 5 matches, like I said. Sadly, the NXT TakeOver is going to be at the Capitol Wrestling Center there. So won't be too many fans in the attendance. But I'm expecting a big night. These takeovers lately have been, hit and miss. I think, this takeover on paper looks really good. I'm looking forward to this quite a bit. So on the pre-show, they've actually announced a pre-show, maybe a dark match for the NXT TakeOver. Trey Baxter versus Ridge Holland. So I honestly, I don't watch NXT on a weekly basis. Don't really know much about both men, so I'm going to go with the safe pick here and go with Ridge Holland. He's the more well-known of the two. And we pretty much have every championship on the line except for the tag team titles. So no tag team matches on this pay-per-view. I'm honestly not even sure who the NXT champions are right now. But it'd be probably quite easy to look up. Let me try that real quick. Alright, so it's MSK as the current tag champs. So a little surprised there's no big tag title match, but honestly I think the card shaped up quite nice. So yeah, we got our 5 matches, or 6 matches including the pre-show. So I have a feeling they're going to close with the big 2 out of 3 falls match. Of course, there's Samoa Joe's big return to the ring. Walter defending the UK Championship. And then there's a singles match for the $1 Million Championship. I'm not the biggest fan of the $1 Million title. I don't think it should be a ongoing thing in NXT. Just my personal take. I like that there's another thing to go for in NXT, but I think, bringing back an old title like the $1 Million title, it was never a go-to championship for really anybody. It was really just for the $1 Million Man. So this is LA Knight defending against Cameron Grimes, and if Grimes loses, DiBiase will become LA Knight's butler. So, LA Knight has actually been very impressive in his initial run here in NXT. So I'm actually going to go with Cameron Grimes with the new $1 Million champion. Don't really expect much from this, but I won't be surprised if LA Knight wins. And a couple weeks ago, I guess, DiBiase was kind of flubbing his lines a little bit. They probably gave him a book to go lay out. And I don't know. I don't think DiBiase really fits the NXT mold well. Excellent talker. He was a fantastic worker in his time. But yeah, I don't think he's a good fit for NXT. Raquel Gonzalez versus Dakota Kai for the Women's Championship. I'm gonna go with Raquel Gonzalez to retain here. I feel like her run has a bit more to give in it. There's a lot left on the table. But Dakota Kai should not be overlooked here, and I wouldn't be surprised if she walks out as champion. There's they're really in a rebuilding phase with this NXT brand. You know, there's been rumors, there's been reports of a rebranding of NXT. No more midgets was the quote we've all read. So, you know, a lot of people are not happy with that. And you know, I personally don't like that they're I don't like how they're kind of limiting themselves, you know, of who they're kind of going after. They want people with star potential, and you know, anybody could be a star in today's era. That's my opinion. Um, you know, I don't like how they're kind of setting limits on themselves because, you know, Adam Cole, AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, these guys were all undersized men, and you know, they're some of the biggest names in recent memory. So I don't like how they're doing that. But Raquel's my pick here. And then Walter versus Ilya Dragunov. I have a feeling this is just going to be one of those fantastic matches. And I won't be surprised if this opens the show to kind of give a buffer between some of these more high profile matches. You know, unless they choose to run them all back to back to back at the last three matches. But honestly, I think Walter's been champion forever, it seems. You know, he's so underrated. He's one of those guys that can have a great match with anybody. You know, look at those matches with Pete Dunne and with Tyler Bate. It's uh it's really been a great run for Walter, and who knows when this will end. But I don't think it'll be at this takeover, but maybe at the Rumble takeover or the Mania takeover. You know, I think things are really, you know, moving in NXT quite quickly right now. So, you know, pay close attention to Walter in the coming weeks, in the coming months, because who knows where he'll end up. And let's look that up quickly, actually. Walter has actually been champion for 869 days. That's incredible. It's probably one of the longest reigns in WWE history. You know, you when you think of long reigns, you think of, you know, those Backlund runs, Bruno, Hogan in his time, but 869, it's a nice number. So there's only been three NXT UK champions. I think it's time to move on from Walter, but I don't know. I don't think right now is the time. So Walter is going to be my pick. And coming up next is going to be the big return of Samoa Joe challenging Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship. This is one I think that's drawing the eyes on NXT right now. So we've seen the debut on Raw for Karrion Kross. A lot of people were not impressed, saying he got buried, he got this, he's that, he's finished. I seen the match with Jeff Hardy. You know, it kind of is what it is. Jeff Hardy got sneaky with a roll up and whatnot, and he pulled a fast one on Kross, but Kross rebounded the next week with a victory over Keith Lee, who Keith Lee has finally returned. So thumbs up for that. Always happy to see the big man in action, and man, very scary stuff with Keith Lee, but that might be a video for another time. Karrion Kross, I think he's dropping the title here to Samoa Joe. And honestly, you know, we just talked about the new things NXT's looking for. Samoa Joe is none of that stuff. Samoa Joe's, I believe, in his 40s, and they're looking for young, big guys in NXT. Samoa Joe does not fit any of those criteria. Um, so whatever, it is what it is. Triple H has lost power in NXT. It's rumored. Who knows? Who knows the real story here? Um, everyone's pretty much expecting Samoa Joe to walk out with the title. So am I. He's my pick with that match. Then we go to 2 out of 3 falls. I almost said Austin and Triple H because that's what this match is reminding me of. But it's Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. 2 out of 3 falls. It's the No Way Out 2001 stipulations. First match, singles competition. Second match, street fight. And the third fall, if necessary, inside a steel cage. Honestly, when it comes to NXT and high-profile matches, I think I've seen enough 2 out of 3 falls matches, you know, for a long time. We've seen Johnny Gargano and Ciampa and DIY. We've seen Cole and Gargano. We've seen some really good 2 out of 3 falls matches in recent time. I don't know what it is. Sometimes they really impress me. Other times they just feel like they go on forever. This is probably going to be one of those matches that just feels like it's going to go on forever. And I don't know. I think we've seen enough of them for quite a while. But this is probably going to be a hell of a match. Cole and O'Reilly are just going to steal the show. They know each other really well. The chemistry's there. The story's there. Everything has led to this point in time. Um, so I, I I do think Kyle O'Reilly's gonna come out the winner here, but this is gonna be a must-see match. Whether it gets 5 stars, 8 stars, 6.5, 3.25 stars, who knows? But Kyle O'Reilly's my pick. I think after this, Adam Cole goes to Raw or SmackDown, possibly AEW. It's rumored his contract's up. He signed an extension to compete through SummerSlam weekend here. So who knows? He had a big meeting with Vince McMahon recently, and who knows? We haven't heard much after that. But WWE is interested in keeping Adam Cole under the WWE umbrella. I'm hoping he stays. I think WWE is just in a rut right now. They got to dig themselves out of this rut. And this isn't a COVID thing or a lockdown thing. Their creative has just been awful recently. This is going back, 2 or 3 years now. When they're on, they're on. When they're off, they're just off. And they felt like they've been off for a long time. So hopefully they can kind of kick themselves in the butts, dust themselves off, and, get some creative juices flowing because things have not been, up to par. Fans are not happy with the start and stop pushes, the beyond scripted promos and overproduced segments and stuff like that. These are things we've been saying for years. But, I really would like to see Cole, in a high profile spot coming in WrestleMania. If he chooses to stay, that's fine. If he goes to AEW with the Bullet Club and the Elite, that's fine as well. Because I know for a fact they'll treat him well. Um, this will probably go to 3 falls, but I think O'Reilly will win the first fall. Cole will win the second fall, and then O'Reilly will squeak out a win in the steel cage. So there's my quick thoughts on NXT TakeOver 36. Let me know your thoughts down below. As always, drop your predictions, guys. And as always, we'll talk to you later. Peace.